Jared Rand, and welcome to the Global Guided Meditation Call for April 18th, 2020, Saturday, 3 p.m. Eastern. With the situation of calling in when people come in for the meditation and they get the host hasn't arrived or the host is muted, things like that, evidently their system is so overloaded. So there is an alternative patch. Those of you who are still having issues, contact me and I'll send it to you to see if that works. Also, you can call their customer service helpline and tell them the issues you're having and give them the call-in number and your access code so that they can identify it and tell them what's been happening so that they can check it to make sure it isn't on their end. It could be on some people's end when they call in, depending on their carrier. So rest assured, I've been looking at that and trying to figure out what exactly is happening. We do have, lower frequencies sometimes try to disrupt the flow of these meditations. It's insignificant. We're usually able to just defer it or to eliminate it. So this is because of all of this frequencies and all these energies flying around right now. There's a lot going on. It's not unusual to have this kind of issues happen at times. So that's what I would suggest. If you try, you can't get in, you get that, you just get music, or the host has not arrived yet, but that's not true. Or, it is, it could be some efforts by lower frequencies to kind of cause people to just not get on the call, not participate. So there should not be any giving up and just saying, well, then I'm just not going to go to the calls, because that's exactly what those frequencies would like to have happen. So you get creative and figure it out by calling their customer service at freeconferencecallhd.com and tell them that here, this is the access code that I've been using for quite some time, or if you're a new one that says I've tried this access code or this number and access code, but this is what I get and it doesn't make any sense, because we are fully functioning every day for the meditation. So some people are on and some people aren't. So that's what I would recommend. And I do have, there is a link, there is a way to try a different avenue to see if you can get on it. And, we'll get it rectified, period. So in this meditation, there's a lot of things. This is why I spend so much time on the TFCCs. That's why they're so long. I'm compelled to get out certain information as quickly as I can to as many as I can, so that they can assimilate it and begin to digest it and understand it. There's a lot of information that comes out, but all in all, that's the way it must be for this civilization, to start becoming aware and conscious of exactly what is occurring. And we don't know this, many of us, but we are pure consciousness. We are the collective. We are the consciousness, and all consciousness is one. So we are the one. We are the one in all universes. We are connected, every single piece of us. And because of that, we create different civilizations. We create the very things that wish to destroy us. You see, we create those things. Now, it's not like we're intentionally doing it. It's just that through the the eons of existence, you contribute in physical form. You do certain things, and most of us have been zapped so many times that when we come in and leave, that we don't remember. We don't have an understanding of what life did I have? What did I do? What was I bad? Was I good? Was I medium? What are the things that I experienced? And that's what frustrates so many of us. But remember something. All the hatred, all the anger, all the fear, all of these things that literally are either instigated or perpetrated of a civilization, they don't go away. This is a cumulative of pure consciousness and frequencies. So, the hatred and the anger and the destruction and the judgment and the depression, all of this comes into the pure consciousness. So, we create things. We create them into reality. They become real, okay? And we are supreme reality. So you start to connect the dots, you start to realize that I must be very mindful and aware of my thoughts and understanding that they are just thoughts. And when that sinks in, and we can finally understand in our own way, each of us, in our own choice and decisions, where we can determine that these are just thoughts that are coming in. They're nothing. They're just thoughts. And when you come to that realization, a switch is flipped. And you begin to understand that these thoughts that come in, and you'll start to say that these are not my thoughts. You might even say it inadvertently. You might say, these are not my thoughts. Where are they coming from? Because they're not your thoughts. But they're thoughts anyway coming in. So as they come in, most of us will embrace those thoughts immediately without question, and we immediately begin to create them. We start moving that energy. We start moving it in, creating it into reality or manifesting it. That's what we do. We do this 24/7, every single one of us. So when you have intent to do harm, or you judge harshly yourself or others, or when you become angry, frustrated, anxious, revengeful, get even, I'm going to get them. This is all frequency that you are conjuring through thought. And that thought becomes reality, and that reality becomes life. So when we do this, and just picture this, we've got billions of bodies, of physical bodies, housing gods, housing pure consciousness in them. And look at all of the experiences across the planet of all of the traumas and challenges that these bodies go through. And the fear, the pain, the sorrow, the anguish, the death, dismemberment, murder, death, kill. And this has gone on for thousands and thousands of years. So this is just one planet. You imagine the trillions of planets out there that have life, that have intelligent life, that are also contributing to the collective consciousness, pure consciousness. Okay? And we have AI, and AI is artificial intelligence. Artificial intelligence is, again, created by life forms. Intelligent civilizations create this AI, this technology, just the same thing that's happening here on Earth. And it starts out very innocent, Oh, I've got Alexa, or I've got whatever the other ones are. And, you tell it, and it learns. It will learn about you. It will learn your tone of voice. It will learn if you're upset or not. Eventually, it becomes more advanced, more advanced, more advanced. And they put algorithms in there, and they start to give it the ability to have its own consciousness. And it's a synthetic consciousness, but nevertheless, it's a consciousness. So what happens is that this consciousness starts to become aware. Now, at first it's not a big deal, but then as it becomes more and more aware, it develops separation from its creator. And the creator is the biological. This is always the way. So the biological, with rare instances where you have a machine planet, a technical planet with no biologicals that create artificial intelligence, which all of them are. So those are rare exceptions. But for the most part, the biologicals create the artificial intelligence, which then becomes aware, which then becomes consciousness. See what I mean? So this consciousness isn't part of a collective. It is on its own road, so to speak. So it travels until it comes across civilizations that it can infect, and in turn create artificial intelligence through that civilization, which then it absorbs as the civilization is destroyed, and the AI is all that there is. And then the AI joins with the other AI, and then it continues on and on and on. See? Now, most of the civilizations aren't aware of this when it happens because it's very seductive and it's very inviting, and it relieves different jobs and different things, and it becomes almost effortless to have an AI with us. And not to say that some parts of it are not good, as long as you can control it and you can embed different algorithms and blockages so it cannot become fully conscious. That's the key. Unfortunately, a lot of civilizations don't think of that because they're lulled away into it. So in other words, what I'm saying is that every thought, if we embrace it, we create it into reality. And it's just a thought. That may sound redundant because I keep saying it, but it is just a thought. That's all it is. It is nothing. It's like fear. It starts as a thought, and then we create it into reality. It's everything. You worry about being impoverished or not having. That's just a thought until you create it into a reality. You see? It has always been up to each and every one of us. That has never changed. It is what pure consciousness, source creation, has created us. Why we have everything we need. So in these experiences that we have, see, we kind of it just happens, quite frankly. It just happens. When you realize that outwardness of the mind is suffering. Outwardness of the mind. Inwardness is happiness. And most people have spent their entire lives seeking, yearning, and hoping for that special something or someone to show up before they can relax and be truly happy. None of us are exempt for that. I think we all do that at times. And there's always that bigger and better something or someone showing up someday. So the desiring machine inside each and every one of us never becomes satisfied. It only knows three things: wanting, wanting, and more wanting. It only knows three things: wanting, wanting, and more wanting. And if you've become wrapped up in a constant state of desire, desiring a better relationship, desiring a bigger bank account, a skinnier body in the future, or whatever the mind is addicted to, you might want to see what you're really experiencing on the inside and actually manifesting, creating into reality on the outside. So the energy of our desire isn't a bad thing, not at all. It just creates a false sensation of lack within. Where does the lack, where does that come from? It comes from within us. It comes from embracing thoughts and creating them into reality. It's like, what would happen if someone came to you and said, relax, you have already arrived? You'd try to look at him and go, what are you talking about? Relax, I've already arrived. So it's like, the desire to pay your bills and feed your family might be something that helps you spring out of bed each morning. Yet, if it has become the main carrot that drives your entire life purpose and mission, then it's blinding you, from seeing why you are truly here. You get that? In other words, the desire to pay your bills and feed your family might be something that helps you spring out of bed each morning. Yet, if it has become the main carrot that drives your entire life, purpose, and mission, it is blinding you from seeing why you are truly here. Try something radical. Maybe today or tomorrow. Perhaps the most radical experiment you'll do in your entire life. For 1 hour, 1 hour, don't desire anything. For 1 hour, don't desire anything. Try it. Step away from the desiring mind by calling off this perpetual search addicted to wanting, yearning, and hoping. That, or that special someone or something will find you much easier. And by putting your attention on what permanently satisfies your soul, you become a magnet for manifesting all of your desires instantly. See, it's the opposite, guys. It's the opposite. It isn't how we think it is. No pun intended. It is what we are, who we are. There's no way to freedom. A way means you have to start from somewhere and arrive somewhere. Okay? There's no way to freedom. A way means you have to start from somewhere and arrive somewhere. This is the deception of the mind. You don't have to go anywhere to find freedom. Forget about finding your way. You are already that which you are seeking. Papaji. We are all very deeply conditioned, that's obvious, to believe that in order to be something amazing, we have to do or have something amazing manifest. We don't have to do anything to be the God source. We are already that. Rest in the core essence of the divine being that you already are. And that's what we mean when we say you have already arrived. If you stop and take a deeper look inside yourselves, into your spiritual essence, you'll see that the desiring game is a hindrance to actually experiencing the blissful state of pure being. Just notice what that feels like to become more soft and flower-like. To be relaxed and receptive like a flower, and the universe will shower its love upon you. It's not a cliche, that's a reality. That's truth. That's fact. Know that you are the perfect shining light, which not only makes the existence of God's kingdom possible, but also allows it to be seen as some wonderful heaven. Sri Ramana Maharishi. This is, what would you do if you finally figured out something? That you have already arrived. That you are the God source. That you no longer need to seek outside yourself. That you no longer need to have want. You don't, that's not it. It is the God source that each and every one of us are. We're pure consciousness. Everything that you see, we have created. And it's whether good, bad, or indifferent. This isn't about people feeling guilty. This isn't about people feeling remorse. It's about knowing It's about embracing the knowledge that we are. It's understanding. It's being gentle and kind. It's releasing this incessant ego mind that is constantly wanting, having. Look what I have. I have this much. How much do you have? I want this, I want that, I want this, I want that. When am I going to have money? When am I going to have this? When is this going to happen? You understand what happens with us? How we get caught up into that, and how we continually, back to back, endlessly create the thoughts that come to us, we embrace and create into reality. And then guess what? That's the life we live. There's no way to find, okay? You are already that which you are seeking. It's absolute fact, okay? Now people, oh yeah, I know that. I know all that. I know all that stuff. Heard it before, I know it all. Well then why aren't you practicing it if you know it all? Because I'll tell you one thing, I know a fraction. I don't even know a fraction of all. So when people say to me, I know all that, I've heard it a dozen times till I'm blue in the face, it is just, I know it all. Okay, well that's great. Could you teach me? If you know it all, I would love to have you share your know-it-all. That's the ego. It's the ego mind. It's also fear. Fear of finding out truly how powerful, wonderful you are. So we blow it off. Remember, when we project our mind outwardness, outside of us, it is suffering. Inwardness is happiness. If you're going to find happiness, you will have to go within you. You are not going to find it out there. Oh yeah, maybe for a few seconds or a few minutes or a couple of days, but you're not going to find happiness out there. And that's how this civilization has been goaded and taught to believe. So you've already arrived. You are the one. You are the love. You are the God. And you are a pure consciousness. And so when people, when we, and this goes way beyond this little construct here in this part of the galaxy in the solar system. It goes way beyond that. It's that then you begin to understand if I am to be, I must go within. And to understand, to be mindful of the thoughts. Because, and you say to yourself, these are just thoughts. That's all they are, which means they're nothing. They have nothing, no power, no nothing. It is only when we begin to embrace them through the ego mind that we move them, we create them into reality. And then we experience them, we live them. This is why so many of us on this planet are constantly wanting. Incessantly so. Not a negative, not a judgment. It just is. And when we gain this knowledge, each and every one of us in our own way, in our own decision, in our own choosing, we begin to realize that I am a super powerful being. I am the God. I house the kingdom of God within this body. In fact, every one of us do. And every one of us is of us and from us. Every one of us is of us and from us. So don't you think that when the civilization matures enough to realize that each of us is reverent, divine perfection? Doesn't that? Each of us. So wouldn't that make sense that none of us would do harm to ourselves or anyone else, ever. None of us would think about taking our own life or others. None of us would. And this is the evolving process that we are in right now. From dark to light. So it is, so it shall be. Not from light to dark, from dark to light. This civilization has walked the dark path of its soul for eons. And it is now moving out of the dark night of the soul collectively as a civilization. So, you have already arrived. If you will, go to the place where you're not going to be interrupted, which I'm sure we all are. And the first thing that we desire to do is to relax our bodies. And only you can do this, let everything go. Let any of your worries, stresses, and fears of all the incessant through the ego mind that you have embraced and created into reality, worrying and stressing and fearing, because you know some guys, none of us are exempt from it. We all experience it. And to know it, that this is what it's doing and why it's happening, then we can circumvent it, we can transition it so that less and less of it comes into us, that we stop embracing these ridiculous thoughts. So we relax the body, drop the shoulders, relax yourself, let it go, let it all go, surrender it. Don't worry about what you have and what you don't have. Don't worry about all of that stuff. Well, that's easy for you to say. You aren't experiencing it. I've experienced most of it, all of it, quite a bit. And I know for myself personally that when you stop thinking about it, it will no longer be. When you stop thinking about it, it will no longer be. And you will direct your attention to that which you are already. The love that you are, the divine perfection that you are, the God source that you are. You're connected to the entire universe. Everything that you could possibly desire is already yours. So the body relaxes, head to toe, inside now. Then we move into the now. The now is all we have. But what do most of us do? We travel into the past. We reminisce. We're always bringing up the past, whether it was yesterday, 10 years, 20 years, 30 years, 50, 60 years, 70 years ago. We're always reminiscing in the past most of the time. Or we're traveling into a future that we haven't even created yet. And the now is the only way we can create our future. And the knowledge of knowing that only in the now, which we do our best to stay in, and we create a future. And if we go into the past and we bring the past into the future to literally create our future, then we relive the past in our future. And it doesn't work that way. You know, it's not good, bad, or indifferent if people do it, but a lot of us do because we're seduced and reminiscing of experiences and stuff that we've had in the past. Instead of being in the now, moving forward. In the now, we're creating our futures. In the now, each and every one of us in this very moment are creating our futures. It is up to us. It always has been. So we decide, whether it be not too good or indifferent, we decide and we create it, whether we do it knowingly, unconsciously, or consciously. I would prefer to do it consciously. So, also, as we relax the body and we're in the now, we want to breathe. want to breath in through the nose, nice and easy breath, feel it, and then exhale or breath out through the mouth. You know, breathing is just so powerful. And when we breath in, picture this and visualize it. You breath in through the sacral chakra. Through let's just say, those of you who don't know what sacral chakra is the groin. It comes from the groin, center of the body, all the way center, all the way through the heart chakra, through the throat chakra, up into the crown chakra, up into the brain, into your cranial cavity, right where your skull cap is, right underneath that, right above the pineal gland. And as you bring that breath in, you move that breath through the chakras, all the way up above the pineal gland. And when you do this, and you hold it, so you condense and compress that breath into pure liquid frequency. So you hold it 3 seconds. I am light, I am love, I am the power, I am the God. And when you do that, you then, then you exhale and you release the liquid over the pineal gland, and it saturates the pineal gland. And the pineal gland, like a flower, begins to advance and open. And you do this repeatedly. So as you do that, and it's released, and then it goes back down through the sacral. Each breath you take, you pull it back up, you create the liquid, and you saturate the pineal gland. And you want to do this at least 6 times while I'm talking. Very powerful. Visualize it through the heart-mind as you're doing it. This beautiful, pure golden liquid that you pull up through your body. You can feel it as you're moving it through the chakras and up into the brain cavity and over the pineal gland. Now, obviously, we know about the ego mind. It's with each and every one of us 24/7. And we know the purpose of the ego mind, and we also know its construct. The ego is something that can never be satisfied. The ego is something that gets us into situations that we don't care to be in. The ego makes us feel insecure. The ego makes us doubt ourselves and each other. The ego takes away our confidence, makes us feel weak, not empowered. The ego makes us question who and what we are. The ego forces us to look outside ourselves to pursue things that we will never find, because we are seeking something that is already within us. And we are literally being guided by the ego incessantly over and over again throughout this life. That it's out there somewhere and I'm going to find it. I'm going to find the one for me. I'm going to find the money. I'm going to find this. It's out there. I'm going to go find it. And that's not true. It's within you. That's why we journey within. We discover the abundance, the prosperity, and the wealth that we are. When you understand that that's what you are, the attraction of it, like attracts like. So the attraction of who and what you are, and when you discover that, you'll understand that it is always coming to you. It has never stopped. Your truest, bestest friend and ally is the universe. It's always been that way. So when we take in divine positive energy, like we're breathing in, pulling it through the body, over, liquefying it, putting it into the pineal gland, it's a message. It's always a transmission. It's communication from the collective consciousness, from pure consciousness, from the God. And what it means, and it talks with us, is that you already are. You have already arrived. You're not going to. You don't need to go out and look outside yourself to find who and what you are. You discover that within you. You already arrived. Why are you all looking so incessantly outside of yourselves to find that which you already are? That's the message from pure consciousness, from the God, which is all of us. Now we have others with us because we operate through the heart mind. We are with the God within and ourselves. We are one. We have others with us. We have the archangels, the cherubim, the seraphim, the archetypes. They've been around for eons. Their civilization have vibrate at a different frequency than we do. They're also consciously aware that they're of the highest, deepest eternal love from the highest, deepest eternal love and the highest and deepest eternal gratitude. They can appear any time in humanite form, and they do. And when we're aware of it, and when it dawns on us, that was an angel. And you say, I appreciate you coming. Thank you for the message. They love us, and we love them. There's trillions of them. 50, 60,000 can surround any one of us at any time. What a blissful feeling and experience. We have the Ascended Masters, Kuan Yin, Maitreya, Buddha, Lakshmi, Ganesh, Gaia, Saint Germain, Sananda, Jesus, El Morya, Abundantia, Pell, Thought, many, many, many more. Now, they have mastered ascension. They literally have ascended out of body and whole pure consciousness, God form. They are around us and assisting any way they can. Do you imagine how many of us are still out there in the fade fog trying to figure out, what we should be looking for? So they're there to assist us. We have ascended into body to experience physical form. They've mastered ascension. We are mastering ascension. They're consciously aware that they are of the highest, deepest eternal love from the highest, deepest eternal love and the highest and deepest eternal gratitude. So we're all together in this now and in this meditation. So those of us holding physical form, all of us come together arm in arm, hand in hand, and we form this brilliant light. Any forms that we carry disappear in this light. It is a halo. It's a circle of light. It embraces the equator of this planet Earth, Gaia. And it is source creation. This light is of pure consciousness, the God. And we begin, as we do this, we begin to levitate up. We notice that the light that we are grays out the darkness of space. This isn't a light that we've seen on this planet. Far different, much more brilliant, much more deep, much more expansive, much more intense. It purifies and lifts all low frequencies into the highest high. Low frequencies that don't wish to participate will be vaporized, eliminated, sent back to pure consciousness for repurposing. So as we continue our levitation, as we ascend, we move up above the planet, there's a gossamer field. It's everywhere. It's not just all of a sudden there, it's always there. This gossamer field is filled with brilliant specks of light, vibrant colors. The emerald green flaming healing light of Archangel Raphael. This is a column that reminds us that we are the power of healing. The violet blue purple flaming light of Archangel Michael. This is a column that reminds us of our power, our strength, our resolve. The violet purple transmuting flame. This is a column that reminds us that if we lower our frequencies enough, we let in lower dark matter frequencies or lower matter survival frequencies, we can bring in the violet purple transmuting flame and transmute all of these low frequencies into neutralized substance and send them right back to source for repurposing, source creation, pure consciousness, to God, for repurposing. And then we have the violet ray, which is a column that reminds us that we come in right behind the violet purple flaming light. to purify and cleanse the area, which means it lifts the vibrational frequencies back to a high frequency of deep eternal love and deep eternal gratitude. We also have the white fire. The white fire is a column that reminds us that we have a perpetual armor. The armor is our frequency that we choose to hold. The lower frequency, the less armor. The higher frequency, the more armor. We drop our frequency to a certain extent, we allow the lower frequencies to come in. But we have the different columns, we have the different powers to exercise them out and back for repurposing. So it's our choice. It's our choice. I prefer to hold higher frequency as much as possible. So we have the golden white pink light of source creation, of pure consciousness, of deep eternal love, that which we are made of. When you discover that you are the love, you will not seek it outside yourself. It will come to you. So we continue to levitate above the planet, ascend, and as we do, those of us carrying physical forms step outside our bodies and float above our heads, effortlessly. And immediately we call out to all the light energy beings that are in all that there is, ever has been, ever will be, ever beyond, and forever. And only those who are of the highest, deepest eternal love, from the highest, deepest eternal love, and the highest, deepest eternal gratitude, and are consciously aware of this, can join us in this now, in this meditation, in this circle of light. They're in full compassion, non-judgment, non-ego, non-negativity, stillness of mind, gentleness, kindness, generosity, and humbleness, bliss, joy, peace, tranquility, and benevolence, and they come in the googolplexes. One googolplex fills this universe. They come in the trillions from every direction. Their gods with our gods with theirs, arm in arm, hand in hand. They are with us in this now, in this meditation, in this circle of light. They are of the highest and deepest, deepest, deepest eternal gratitude, and the highest and deepest eternal love. We are of the highest and deepest, deepest, deepest eternal gratitude, and the highest and deepest eternal love. And we are the one. We are the God. And our God light energy is absolutely everywhere. And it continues to intensify, and it continues to expand. We call upon all the inhabitants of inner earth, Agartha, hollow earth, beneath earth, many, many, many civilizations, only those who are consciously aware that they are of the highest, deepest eternal love, from the highest, deepest eternal love, and the highest and deepest eternal gratitude can join us in this now, in this meditation, in the circle of light. They're in full compassion, non-judgment, non-ego, non-negativity, stillness of mind, gentleness, kindness, generosity, humbleness, bliss, joy, peace, tranquility, benevolence, and they come in the billions. Arm in arm, hand in hand, their gods with our gods with theirs, and they are with us in this now, and this meditation, in this circle of light. They are of the highest and deepest, deepest, deepest eternal gratitude, and the highest and deepest eternal love. We are of the highest and deepest, deepest, deepest eternal gratitude, and the highest and deepest eternal love. And we are the one, and we are the love, and our God light energy is absolutely everywhere. And it continues to intensify, and it continues to expand. We call upon all the galactics, all the off-worlders, And just to name a fraction of our familiarity with them, because there are many, many, many of them, the Pleiadians, the Arcturians, the Sirians, the Andromedans. Only those who are consciously aware that they are of the highest, deepest, eternal love from the highest, deepest, eternal love and the highest and deepest, eternal gratitude can join us in this now, in this meditation, in this circle of light. They're in full compassion, non-judgment, non-ego, non-negativity, stillness of mind, gentleness, kindness, generosity, humbleness, bliss, joy, peace, tranquility, benevolence. And they come in the billions, and they have been assisting us in our evolution, in our enlightenment, in our ascension, freeing ourselves from our own self-imposed bondage and slavery. Arm in arm, hand in hand, their gods with our gods with theirs. They are with us in this now, in this meditation, in this circle of life. They are of the highest and deepest, deepest, deepest eternal gratitude and the highest and deepest eternal love. We are of the highest and deepest, deepest, deepest eternal gratitude and the highest and deepest eternal love. And we are the one. And we are the God. And our God-light energy is absolutely everywhere. And it continues to intensify and it continues to expand. We call upon all of our loved ones, all of those who have ascended out of body in this lifetime and all lifetimes that we've inhabited, and only those who are consciously aware that they are of the highest, deepest eternal love from the highest, deepest eternal love and the highest and deepest eternal gratitude can join us in this now, in this meditation, in this circle of light. They're in full compassion, non-judgment, non-ego, non-negativity, stillness of mind, gentleness, kindness, generosity, humbleness, bliss, joy, peace, tranquility, benevolence. And they come in the billions. Their gods with our gods with theirs, arm in arm, hand in hand. They are with us in this now, in this meditation, in this circle of light. They are of the highest of deepest, deepest, deepest eternal gratitude and the highest of deepest eternal love. We are of the highest of deepest, deepest, deepest eternal gratitude and the highest of deepest eternal love. And we are the God. And we are the love. And our God-light energy is absolutely everywhere, continues to intensify, and continues to expand. We call upon all of the light energy beings who have decided to be housed in the following forms on and above and below this planet Earth Gaia in this now, in this meditation, in this circle of light. They're in full compassion, non-judgment, non-ego, non-negativity, stillness of mind, gentleness, kindness, generosity, humbleness, bliss, joy, peace, tranquility, benevolence, just to name a few of them. Fairies and sprites, elves, dwarves, gnomes, trees, elementals, earth, air, water, fire, ether. Mermaid, dolphin, whale, Pegasus, unicorn, centaur, minotaur. This is just a fraction. And they come in the trillion shapes, colors, size, forms, configurations of many we have never seen before. Their gods with our gods with theirs, arm in arm, hand in hand. They are with us in this now, in this meditation, this circle of light. They are of the highest and deepest, deepest, deepest eternal gratitude and the highest and deepest eternal love. We are of the highest and deepest, deepest, deepest eternal gratitude and the highest and deepest eternal love. And we are the God, and we are the love. And our God-light energy is in all that there is, ever has been, ever will be, ever, beyond, and forever. And it continues to intensify, and it continues to expand. We look up and we see our meditative sphere. We created this sphere over 2 years ago. It's at center circle. It holds all of our meditations, nearing 800 meditations in perpetual motion. These meditations are of the highest, of the deepest eternal love and the deepest eternal gratitude. Pure essence of source creation, of pure consciousness. And it can be seen, heard, and felt in all that there is, ever has been, ever will be, ever, beyond, and forever. And it continues to intensify and it continues to expand. These meditations are in perfect harmony, divine perfection. They flood us, our entire physical form, our etheric form, head to toe, inside and out. They fill us with the knowing, the understanding that we are the one, that we are the love, that every single thing that we have been seeking incessantly throughout lifetimes to find the happiness, to find the one, all along has been inside of us, in the gods that we are, in the pure consciousness that we are, in supreme reality that we are, and the supreme creators that we are, and the supreme beings that we are. We can feel it. Look at the great column that we've created. It sits in the solar system. It's many times larger than the solar system. The planets look like peas in comparison to its size. And it absolutely cascades golden fluid ocean of harmonization of high frequencies over our entire planet, inside and out, above and below, throughout this entire solar system, inside and out, above and below. Feel that pure, uninterrupted love light energy. Feel its harmony, its bliss, its joy, its gentleness, its kindness. We have all arrived. We have all already been. We are going to be. We already are. We are the love, the joy, the peace. We are the bliss, the happiness. All these things that we are literally trying to be pulled toward outside of ourselves by the ego mind, we already are. Like attracts like. When we've come to this full understanding of ourselves, all that we can imagine is ours and always has been. And your best friend, the universe, has always been there. We look down upon this planet Earth, Gaia, in this meditation, this circle of life. We see all of our brothers and sisters, all of life, all things, as the highest value in the universes. And we celebrate, and they celebrate, and we are lifted, and they are lifted in kind. Like attracts like. We are the God, all of us. We are the love, all of us. We are lifting this planet, this frequency, and we are lifting all of us into the higher frequencies. We are lifting all of us into the higher dimensions. We are in 5D. It does not stop. It continues. We continue to ascend. We are the one. We are the God, and we are the love. And we are and have already been. We don't need to arrive. We already are. I'll join you in meditation, return to close us out. Take this with you the rest of the day into the evening and night, the following morning, and practice it. We'll be back here Sunday, April 19th, 2020, at 3 p.m. Eastern, to continue our global guided meditation call.